What's up, Texas wrestling fans? This is Jay Williams, your hashtag certified mark, coming to you from the great outdoors. Last night, we had a heck of a night, and the first night of Fight, Win, Survive from Metroplex Wrestling. We have determined the 4 semifinalists who will go head-to-head tonight at night 2. And man, oh man, it was a hell of a journey getting there. First, we had Tyler Jett taking on Tatum Manning, the 1 in a million. And let me say that the Party Viking in a dog collar chain match like he had last night was really in his element. Tatum tried to keep up, but he just could not beat the Party Viking. Second up, we had Nate Collins, the Concrete Cowboy, taking on Muerte Infernal from the Crew in a 4-post massacre in which you had to execute a successful move onto your opponent from one of the turnbuckles 4 times, all 4 turnbuckles, to be able to win the match. And it came real close. It came down to that last post between each of them. But in the end, the Concrete Cowboy came out on top, and man, that was worth it. Then we had CJ Ward taking on Richter 5-0 from Team Action, one of my favorite guys, in a barbed wire board match. And it was brutal. They put each other through that barbed wire so many times, and let me tell you, I saw the carnage that Richter took. I saw the damage that CJ took, and oh, ow. They are tougher men than me, let me put it that way. But in the end, CJ was able to pull off a chill out onto one of the boards on Richter and came out on top. And he moved on to the second round. And then finally, we had Jason Silver taking on his longtime friend, brother, enemy, whatever, Sky De Lacrimosa. And the two of them went hard. I wasn't sure if I was watching MPX or, CZW or something like that. And it was a hell of a match. The two men took each other on in what's called a chairly legal match, in which the only legal weapon is chairs, and there were a lot of them. Eventually, Sky seemed to be getting the upper hand, so Jason went ahead and put on that mask from Hardakis that he had refused last week, and it took the same toll on him it did last time. It was harsh. He went completely animal. He eventually refused it, but took a bit of damage while he was at it. But he did come out on top, beating Sky De Lacrimosa and moving on to round 2. In round 2, Tyler Jett took on the Kingsman, Michael Schaefer, and for all of his roughneck style, in a Falls Count Anywhere match against the Kingsman, especially when the Kingsman is fresh, there was just no way. So, Michael Schaefer from the Greatest Team Alive moved on to the semifinals. Then we had Nate Collins taking on Dmitry Alexandrov in a ladder match. And wow! I did not know which way this was going to go. They broke all the ladders out, and they nearly broke all the ladders. You could hear some of the guys from the back saying, "No, don't break the tall one," because they had a lot of work to do with it that night. But luckily, it survived. Unfortunately, Dmitry did not, as Nate Collins put him through a ladder and got the pin to move on to the semifinals. Then we had CJ Ward taking on Stephen Kirby in a tables match, which apparently Kirby either forgot or missed that it was a tables match, because he got a package power driver onto CJ and tried to pin him, but was reminded that it was a tables match. They got the tables in, and although CJ did try his best in this to go ahead and just take out the greatest human being alive, unfortunately, a Kirby bomb in the corner threw a table into the match. And then finally we had the last match. It was supposed to be a submission match between the winner of the first round match and Tommy Becker, who got a bye. But Aller decided that with all the carnage that was going on, he was not going to risk one of his guys, and so therefore replaced him with James Johnson. Now, Jason was still injured from the match with Sky De Lacrimosa. He had taken an injury to the leg earlier, and it was what really made it amazing that he won the match in the first place. Excuse me. But in this match, Johnson took advantage of that damage and just really dragged it out. They tried to go for a figure, he tried to go for a figure 4, but somehow Silver was able to get it out. But in the end, Jason finally took the mask back, and it changed him. It made him more feral, like I said before. And this time, he went with it. He accepted it. He took it. And he destroyed Johnson. He used a screwdriver in the, it looked like in the mouth, to get Johnson to finally tap. And then he seemed to want the mask after that. What's becoming of our immortal? We'll have to find out, won't we? But now we have Nate Collins. We have Jason Silver from the Silver and Hardakis team. We have both members of the greatest team alive, Stephen Kirby and Michael Schaefer, in the semifinals for Fight, Win, Survive tonight. And it's going to be a heck of a night. In addition, Dave Sagan, who got involved in the match with James Johnson and Jason Silver when Aller tried to get involved himself, will be in action tonight, probably defending his prospect title. Who's he going to defend it against? I don't know. Signs kind of point towards Johnson, as a form of revenge, but we'll see. If you haven't already got your tickets, you should definitely do that. If you want to see all the action from last night, go to mpxwrestling.network. network.mpxwrestling.com and check it out. If you don't already have a membership, you get a 7-day free trial, and if you happen to have a season ticket, you get a free pass to the network. And oh man, you need to watch that. You also need to watch everything else that's on there, because let me tell you, there's nothing on there that isn't good. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out tonight, and we'll see who will become the #1 contender to take on Scott McKenzie at the Texas Rumble. Keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans. Mark out.